Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. ISKCON BBT founder Acharya's Divine Grace Shri Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Anant Koti Vaishnava Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Jai Shri Shri Radhe Shyam Sundar ki jai. Shri Pralada Sri Bhagwan ki jai. Shri Gauritai ki jai. Anant Koti Vaishnava Bhaktivinoda ki jai. All glories to several devotees Hare Krishna. All glories to several devotees Hare Krishna. All glories to several devotees Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Gaur Premanande Hari Bol. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Natho Jayamudiraye Nashtapraya Subhadreshu Nityam Bhavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam. Today's texts are 11 to 18, and we will read 18 together, but I'll read 11 and 12 by myself. Bhutanamasi bhutadir indriyanam cha taijasaha vaikariko vikalpanam pradhanam anusayinam. Translation: You are false ego in the mode of ignorance, which is the source of the physical elements. False ego in the mode of passion, which is the source of the bodily senses. False ego in the mode of goodness, which is the source of the demigods. And the unmanifest total material energy which underlies everything. Text number 12. Nashvaresha iha bhaveshu tad asi tvam anasvaram yatha dravya vikara reshu dravya matram nirupatitam. Translation: You are the one indestructible entity among all the destructible things in this world, like the underlying substance that is seen to remain unchanged while the things made from it undergo transformations. Text number 13. Please repeat after me. Sattvam rajas tama iti gunastad vritas yaschayaha tvaya adha brahmani pare kalpita yoga mayaya. Sattvam rajas tama iti gunastad vritayaschayaha tvayi ardha brahmani pare kalpita yoga mayaya. Sattvam rajas tama iti gunastad vritayaschayaha Tvai adha brahmani pare kalpita yoga mayaya. Sattvam rajas tama iti gunastad vritayaschayaha tvai adha brahmani pare kalpita yoga mayaya. Sattvam rajas tama iti gunastad tvai adha brahmani pare Kalpita yoga mayaya. Sattvam rajas tamayiti. Gunasta vritaya saya. Brahmani pare. Kalpita yoga mayaya. Sattvam rajas tamayiti. Gunasta vritaya saya. Tvayatha brahmani pare. Kalpita yoga mayaya. Sattvam rajas tamayiti. Gunasta vritaya saya. Tvayatha brahmani pare. Kalpita yoga mayaya. Sattvam rajas tamayiti. Gunasta vritaya saya. Tvaya brahmani kalpita yoga mayaya. Sattvam rajas tamayiti. Gunasta vritaya saya. Tvayatha brahmani pare. Kalpita yoga mayaya. Sattvam rajas tamayiti. Gunasta vritaya saya. Tvayatha brahmani pare. Kalpita yoga mayaya. Sattvam rajas tamayiti. Gunasta vritaya saya. Tvayatha brahmani pare. Kalpita yoga mayaya. Word to word translation, please repeat after me. Sattvam raja tama iti. Known as goodness, passion and ignorance. Gunaha, the modes of material nature. Tat, there. Vrittaya, functions. Cha, and. Yaha, which. Tvai, within you. Adha, manifestly. Brahmani, within the absolute truth. Pare, supreme. Kalpitaha, arranged. Yog Maya, by Yog Maya, the eternal potency of the Supreme Lord that facilitates his pastimes. Translation. The modes of material nature, namely goodness, passion and ignorance, together with their functions, become directly manifest within you, the supreme absolute truth, by the arrangement of your Yoga Maya. Please repeat after me. The modes of material nature, namely goodness, passion and ignorance, together with their functions, become directly manifest within you, the supreme absolute truth, by the arrangement of your Yoga Maya. Report by the followers of His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Vasudev's description of how the Supreme Lord expands himself into the products of the three material modes may possibly be understood to imply that he is touched by the modes, or even that he is subject to destruction. To negate these understandings, Vasudev states here that the three modes and their products function by the arrangement of the Lord's creative energy, Yoga Maya, who is always completely under his control. Thus, Lord is never tainted in the least by any material contact. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmiलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः. श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्. वन्देऽहं श्री गुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्री गुरुं वैष्णवंश्च श्री रूपं साग्रजातं सागर रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं दूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादां सागरा ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितंश्च. हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते. तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णापृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने. नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. Thank you everyone for coming to this morning's Srimad Bhagavatam class. Interesting topic. We are still in the place where we were a few months back, which is Kurukshetra. Everybody, as we know, had assembled people from many rajas, many kingdoms, and many smaller kingdoms as well, like Brajvasis were also there, as we know, and also the likes of the Pandavas and many other kings and so forth. And followed by them were the demigods who also came, and then the rishis. The rishis also came, the sages. And then the sages, as they do as their duty wherever they are preaching about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And in the previous chapters we read that how they glorify the Lord. And listening to them, Vasudeva, the father of Lord Krishna, he starts to glorify Lord as well. And as we know, this chapter is Lord Krishna instructs Vasudeva. Then, so at the present moment, as we are reading, Vasudeva, father of Krishna, is glorifying the Lord. Is basically understood whatever from the sages, the teachings of the sages. As we know, we have read and heard in the past that any Tirath Dham we go to, a lot of people just go to take bath or just to take prasad or anything as such. But the actual purpose of going to Tirath Dhams is to get the association of the devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And who knows, as they say, in dhams like Vrindavan, you can also meet Krishna himself, isn't it? Expansions of Krishna or Krishna himself. So the purpose of going to dhams is none other than to meet the like-minded devotees of Krishna, or even those who are realized souls. And if we meet a realized soul, definitely we are going to get some benefit. As we know that these souls are only for our purpose, isn't it? These souls don't come here for to suffer their karmic reactions. They only come here to enlighten fallen souls like ourselves. They are messengers of Lord. So they come here for that purpose. And if we are lucky enough, we find such souls in these kind of dhams. And that is the main purpose of going to these dhams. Like we know it was a very auspicious occasion, so a lot of them came, and they, as we know, kings and princes and vasis of different kingdoms. We know that everybody, like kings, they are more like into opulent lifestyle, isn't it? They are more into opulent lifestyle. And not many of them are Raj Rishis, like Yudhishthira Maharaj. Yudhishthira Maharaj is a Raj Rishi. This kind of royal treatment does not affect his realization, his self-realization. And similarly, there are many Raj Rishis at the time, like Vasudeva himself. Although he was also of the princely order or royal order, he was never he was a very learned king as well. He was very learned in Shastra. And he was not only learned, he was also following every word of the Shastra. And here we know that Brajvasis, their main purpose, as we know, as we just reflected on, their main purpose was to come and meet Lord Krishna and Balram. Isn't it? They have been missing Lord Krishna and Balram, where they have been waiting for Lord Krishna for almost 100 years. They knew Krishna had promised them that he'll come back as soon as his work with Kansa is finished. But they have been waiting for years and years, and a lifetime now of 100 years. So they have been waiting. So their main purpose of visiting Kurukshetra was nothing to do with the auspicious occasion of the solar eclipse. So they also wanted to meet Krishna and Balram. And Krishna and Balram, they, as we have read in the previous chapters, that although they were of king of like royal order, when it comes to meeting devotees, they don't make such discrimination. Their discrimination is about who is a pure devotee of the Lord, isn't it? So they meet. They follow royal rules and regulations of the time. So when the gopis were longing to meet Krishna and Balram, they were also present there. Then Krishna and Balram did not break any etiquettes. They just met them through their vision, isn't it? The gopis did the same. They met Krishna just by looking at him, and then they embraced Krishna and Balram in their mind, in their hearts. We all know that Krishna, the Lord, the Paramatma, resides in our heart, isn't it? So we don't have to go out to look for Krishna. Krishna is within us. So just to follow that etiquette, or those etiquettes, they did not just go out of their way to embrace Krishna in the whole public. But then, when Lord Balram saw that Krishna is also longing to meet with his pure devotees, the gopis, then he made separate arrangements for them to meet. But here, when they are in the assembly, they only meet in their minds and by their gazes. So, the past, what I'm trying to say is the amount of love and what's the word I'm looking at? The amount, how they were missing Krishna for this 97 or 100 years, someone says 100, someone says 97 years, was very painful for them, for devotees of Krishna. Like anybody, for us, if we miss our parents or our children, for a day, we know what the pain is like, isn't it? But these people, they have been thinking of Krishna. They have been living with the thought of Krishna, of meeting Krishna for very, very long time, 100 years. So they were going through immense pain at the time. They were going through immense pain of separation. That's what I was looking for. Immense pain of separation at the time. And that is the reason why Balram understood the feeling of the Lord and his devotees. And that is the reason why he made separate arrangements for the gopis to meet Krishna separately. So, we are in this world, we see Krishna every morning, but we don't have that level of separation. We don't feel that level of separation from Krishna. Although we have also been away from Krishna for millions and trillions of births, but what is the reason that we are not feeling that separation? We had also been enjoying, same as the Brajvasis were enjoying when we were back in Golok, Vrindavan. We might not have been as close to Krishna as the Gwal, Bals and so forth, but we were also part of that whole system. We were also relishing Krishna's presence, Radharani's presence in our reach. They were all within our reach. We might have been Gwal Bal, we don't know. We might have been part of that same assembly, same Gwal Bal or same community. Or we might have been elderly Gopas and Gopis, we don't know. Or we might have been Krishna's cows. Krishna's cows loved Krishna so much, that when they saw Krishna, the milk from their udder would start to spread, isn't it? And Krishna would just put his mouth to their udder and drink the milk. So that was the level of love they were all having for Krishna. Same with with the calves. They came to Krishna, and Krishna always embraced them. There was so much reciprocation of love, intense love, to meet Krishna and to be around Krishna all the time. And now here, Vasudeva, after hearing from all the sages, then getting back that realization, yes, Krishna is none other than Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is glorifying Krishna. And then he's saying that all this Maya and these gunas are meant for us only. It's not meant for Krishna. Krishna is always independent of any kind of Maya. He doesn't get bewildered by Maya. Even though, as we know, that all the gopis and everyone were around her, they were females. But for Krishna, they are all just his devotees. Whether they are male or female, that distinction does not apply to Krishna. Krishna is fully detached of anything and everything. Only we have got this material attachment. Krishna doesn't have. That is what Vasudeva is saying. That is what Vasudeva is telling everybody who is listening. And it is, in fact, he's telling for the benefit of all of us who are reading and associating with Srimad Bhagavatam. So Vasudeva also mentions that to make life successful, the sages have said that you need to do yajnas. That is what Vasudeva is reflecting on later on. And these sacrifices are supposed to be in performance of yajnas. Those sacrifices are yajnas. And also some of them also do tapasyas, isn't it? We learn that people do tapasyas. That is all to get back that relationship with Krishna. And these different kinds of yoga, there are different kinds of yoga, which means going back and connecting with Krishna. And for people like us who are in Varnashrama, we are not Varnashrama, we are Vaishnavas, but those who are in household lives, we are supposed to do what is called is Dravya Yajna, and Tapo Yajna, and Yoga Yajnas. And this verse from Bhagavad Gita 4.28, it says that Dravya Yajnas, Tapo Yajna, Yoga Yajnas, Tatha Pare, Swadhaya Jnana Yajnascha, Yataha Samsita Vritaha. Having accepted strict vows, some become enlightened by sacrificing their possessions, which is Dravya Yajna, and their possession, and others by performing severe austerities, that is Tapo Yajna, severe austerities, by practicing the yoga of eightfold mysticism, that is the Yoga Yajna, eightfold mysticism, and by studying the Vedas to advance in transcendental knowledge, and that is Swadhaya Yajna. Swadhaya means to study the Vedic literature and then using that as a yajna. We learn yajna means to perform. This is a sacrifice. We perform this kind of yajna to do this, get back that relationship with Krishna. So, what is Dravya Yajna? That is the donations of different types, the charities, the charitable work we do, whether just donating food items to the needy, or it can be like some people build old people's home or orphanages. A lot of people do that. Those people who can afford it, those people who have got those kind of richness. So they do that. And then those are the donations, different kinds of donations. And then austerities. We do austerities during Chaturmas and other festivals, isn't it? We do some certain kind of austerities. We abstain from taking certain food items, right? And we reduce our consumption of food. We try not to dwell into any kind of sense gratification. So that is austerities, Tapo Yajna. And then Ashtanga Yoga and Hatha Yoga, they are the normal yoga yajnas. And then studying of Vedic literature and Vedanta Sutras and all those, that is considered to be, or even Upanishads or Sankhya philosophy, that is Swadhaya Yajna. But the perfection of life, that yoga system, what is the perfection? It's none other than what we do, that is Bhakti Yoga. In Bhagavad Gita 14:26, Krishna says, Mam chayo vyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate Saguna Sanatityaitan Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate. So that is supposed to, the translation is, one who engages in full devotional service, unfailing in all circumstances, at once transcends the mode of material nature and thus comes to the level of Brahman. So the last one, which is what we practice, is Sankirtana Yajna. I haven't talked about Sankirtana Yajna, isn't it? That relates to Bhakti Yoga. That is Bhakti Yoga. Sankirtana Yajna is part of Bhakti Yoga. So that is the prescription given to us by none other than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, isn't it? Sankirtana Yajna. So we supposed to do the Sankirtana Yajna as part of our sacrifice. What do we sacrifice? We sacrifice time, we sacrifice our mind, we sacrifice the thought of Krishna. We don't let any material, when we are doing Sankirtana Yajna, when we are chanting or when we are singing the kirtans, we are placing the Lord in our heart. We are giving what is supposed to be given back to Lord, which is ourselves. By taking Lord's name. We are glorifying Lord in His name by taking His name, because that is the only form of sacrifice which is pure in this material world in this time of Kali Yuga, isn't it? The other kind of yajnas were prescribed for other yugas, but for Kali Yuga, because nothing else remains pure or remain pure going forward, as we already know, we can't buy pure butter or ghee these days. It's very hard. So those impurities, if you are offering in the normal sacrifice yajnas, then it is considered to be offensive, isn't it? That's offensive. Any kind of impure things we offer in the yajna becomes offensive. So to avoid us from doing those offenses, Mahaprabhu has prescribed us for Sankirtana Yajna in this age of Kali. So that is the way to attain Krishna and the relationship back to Krishna. That is what we are learning here. So the next maybe 10 to 15 minutes we will move. I'll just reflect on the verses we read and then we move to today's Madhvacharya's passing away Tithi. So we will discuss about that. So text number 11. You are false ego in the mode of ignorance, which is the source of the physical elements. False ego in the mode of passion, which is the source of the bodily senses. False ego in the mode of goodness, which is the source of the demigods. And the unmanifest, total material energy, which underlies everything. In text number 12, you are the one indestructible entity among all the destructible things in this world, like the underlying substance that is seen to remain unchanged, while the things made from it undergo transformations. Text number 13, the modes of material nature, namely goodness, passion, ignorance, together with all their functions, become directly manifest within you, the supreme absolute truth, by the arrangement of your Maya. So, talking about false ego in the mode of ignorance, we always have false ego. In the mode of ignorance, we are considered to be the victims of false ego. We can't differentiate who we are. We can't relate to Krishna because we have got that ahankara, false ego. We can't relate to Krishna easily because that's the impurity we are born with. We are born with this false ego. As soon as we fell from the spiritual world, Krishna has given us this false ego, this ahankara. Because Prabhupada says that is the very reason we have fallen, isn't it? Very reason, because we wanted to enjoy independent of Krishna. So Krishna has given us that false ego. It is also a vehicle that when we come in this material world, if everybody becomes king, like we want to be the enjoyer, the Purusha, isn't it? That's the reason for our fall. Then how can everybody become Purusha? How can I come here and everybody starts serving me? Or someone else comes here and everybody starts serving them? That's the expectation, isn't it? That's the expectation. That is the reason for false ego, that we want to be the enjoyers. So, what does Krishna do? Just not to let one's false ego interact, or it does, but to give that independence, he gives the false ego to everyone. So everyone thinks, oh, I am better than this. That thought process, that if someone is singing kirtan, and that very thought that, oh, I can sing better than this, that sort of provides for our false ego. That provides for us. That's like what false ego is. Excuse me. That's what the false ego feeds on. False ego feeds on this kind of false pride we have. That's a false pride. False ego is the same thing. Whatever, if someone's doing Prabhupada's puja, I think that, oh, I can do better than that. Or someone's on the altar, if someone's preaching, oh, I can do better than that. So that is the very false ego we are born with. And in the mode of ignorance, what is it? That if someone is like a bad personality, he thinks that no one is bigger than me. Let's take for example the gundas, what do you call them in English? The gundas, they control certain areas and they kill people to earn their living, but they don't realize that they are in mode of ignorance. But they think they are so important. That feeds their false ego, isn't it? That's mode of ignorance. And in the mode, same thing in mode of passion. In the mode of passion, we earn for ourselves, and then what we do? We use it for our own sense gratification, for our own use. So what? We think that, oh, no one enjoys better than me. I've got a big house, I've got a big car, I've got a good family, all that things. That gives us false ego. True? So that is in the mode of passion. And same thing in the mode of goodness. In the mode of goodness, we give big charity, and then what we think? No one is better than me. Even though we give charity, we do that sacrifice, but we think we do it for what? Can you please announce my name? That I've given this much charity. That happens. So that is also more in the false ego. It's in mode of, although it's mode of goodness we have given, but then it's overtaken by the false ego. So that's what is Vasudeva is telling Krishna, that despite all this you have created by your Maya, but you are not, even if you are here, you are not bewildered by all that. It doesn't affect you. And then manifest and unmanifest, we know everything relies in Krishna. When it's in unmanifest form, the whole material energy goes back into Mahavishnu, isn't it? He inhales and the whole material world goes inside him. That's unmanifest situation. And the manifest is when he exhales, the whole creation comes up again, isn't it? So that is the manifest and unmanifest position of the Lord, of this material world, which goes and comes out of the Lord himself. Okay, so we can discuss if there is anything else later on. We were talking about Madhvacharya. Madhvacharya, as we know, there are four authorized Vaishnava Sampradayas. The picture or the demonstration given is like a well. We are all in this well of this material world. We are fallen souls. And the Lord, through His mercy, has given us 4 ropes falling into the well. And we can use those ropes to climb back to the spiritual world. So the 4 the authorized Sampradayas are considered to be those ropes. So the first one is the Sri Sampradaya. The leader of that Sampradaya, we could say, is Lakshmi. It comes from Lakshmi herself. And the Acharya for that Sampradaya is Ramanuja Acharya, isn't it? And then the second one is Rudra Sampradaya, Rudra Vaishnava Sampradaya. And Rudra, it comes from Lord Shiva, Rudra himself. So, and Vishwak Swami is considered to be the Acharya for that Sampradaya. And this third one is Kumar Sampradaya. And Nimbarka Muni is considered to be the Acharya for that Sampradaya. And the last one is Brahma Sampradaya. In Brahma Sampradaya, who is the Acharya? Is none other than Madhvacharya. Madhvacharya, who is in our lineage, isn't it? Our parampara. So this Sampradaya comes from Brahma himself. Krishna teaches Brahma, and then Krishna himself teaches all this, the leaders of each Sampradaya. So the knowledge comes from Krishna, it comes to Brahma, and then Brahma in turn he tells to Narada, and then the parampara starts from there. And then down the line we have Madhvacharya, who brings this Dvaita philosophy, isn't it? Madhvacharya is the proponent of the Dvaita philosophy. The Dvaita philosophy, we'll talk about it later, but who's this? We can read about the lineage in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, we have brought that. At the end of the introduction, Prabhupada has given the lineage of the Acharyas in our Sampradaya. Okay, you can read that page. At the end of, I think, like the second end of the last page of the introduction, or some page in Bhagavad Gita. I can't remember all of those, unfortunately. But yeah, Madhvacharya is there. It is said that Madhvacharya was born in Udupi, or close to Udupi. The name of the place was Pajata. So it's near Udupi in the state of Karnataka. His parents were, the father's name was Madhva Geha Bhatt, and also known as Narayan Bhatt, and mother's name was Vedavati. So before Madhvacharya was born, his parents had two children, but both of them died at birth. So they considered that they should pray to the Lord. So for 12 years they did austerity for 12 years. They were only drinking milk for 12 years. They did so much, as I said, tapasya, austerity. They did so much tapasya that we need to have a good son. So they did. They were very religious people. So they did for 12 years. And after 12 years, Madhvacharya was born. Now at birth his name given was Vasudev. At birth the name was given to Vasudev. And the parents came from Tullu Brahmanical class. That is from South India. So there are a lot of childhood pastimes which we don't have time to discuss, but I will just discuss one or two. When Madhvacharya was born, he was very small, a little less than 1 year when he started walking, and a snake came into the house, a big snake came into the house, and it was just trying to attack, like it was preparing to attack Madhvacharya. So what Madhvacharya did was, at that age, he kicked the snake against a stone which was there. Like he kicked it, and the snake's imprint on the head came onto the stone, onto the rock. So that rock is still there. They're saying that it's still there. You can go and take darshan in Udupi and that. And that is one. And the second one was when he started. He didn't go to school at that. He was like 4.5 or 5 years old. Then like those times there were good times and bad times, and his parents at times would face financial difficulty as well. Although they had their own piece of land, but they did not have many other. They were Brahmanas, like by practice they were Brahmanas. So at one time his father took some loan from a money lender. So what happened was, this money lender, for some time he was tolerant, but then after that he started harassing his father. Narayan Bhatt, he used to come every morning and start harassing. If you don't give my money today, I'll take away your house. I'll chase you out of this house. And he'll bring some people with him and bully him around. So one day, it came to the knowledge of Madhvacharya, Vasudeva at the time. So what he's looking at this commotion, and when this person goes away, his father is very morose. So the next day the person comes again. So what he does is he's listening to what's happening. Then he talks, like he's a small boy, and he talks, what's happening here? What is wrong? Why are you chastising my father? Father, tell me what is wrong. Then father says, hey, we owe this gentleman some money. Oh, okay, we owe some money, just hold on. So he runs. They had a tamarind tree in their yard. So he runs to the tamarind tree, under the tamarind tree. There were a lot of tamarind seeds lying under the tree. So he picks up few tamarind, several tamarind, whatever fits in his palm. He's a small boy. He picks up the seeds and he comes back running. And he's hiding like this, like the person cannot see. So it's all about money. He asks, yeah, your father owes me money. So okay, open your hand. I'm giving back the money to you. So he said, what is it? No, you don't have to know. You just open it. This boy is very persistent. Because it is said that Madhvacharya in incarnation of the god of wind, isn't it? It's his like same avatar as Hanumanji, avatar of Hanumanji and Bhima. So he opens his palm at the end after some discussion. Then he just drops the seed of the tamarind, and as it reaches his palm, he opens his palm and says, "Oh my God!" And it all changes into gold sovereigns. It changes into gold sovereigns, and he said, "Are you happy now?" It's Madhvacharya, small boy is asking. He said, "Yeah, it's all fine. I've got what I wanted." So he goes away. So that is another pastime which is recorded. And then he was going to Gurukul. After that, he was enrolled into Gurukul. And in Gurukul, because he was son of, or rather incarnation of wind, he won't stay put. Like he'll keep going here and there, walking here and there. He just can't sit like all other students. So the teacher, the master, spiritual master, or the Gurukul teacher, got very angry with him. So, what are you doing? You are not listening. You are not learning. When your parents ask me what have I taught your child or their child, he'll say that I am not doing my duty because you are so distracted. You are running here and there. So Madhvacharya asked, "So what have you taught? You want to know what have you taught to me? I'll tell you what you have taught me." And then he says everything which the teacher taught for the previous day, so for this particular day. And then he also says what he's going to teach for the rest of the day. He tells the teacher. And the teacher is bewildered. He says, "Oh my God, how does this boy know all this?" He thinks like he's not concentrating. It looks like he's not concentrating, but he knows everything. And so that's another pastime. Like although he was running here and there like a small boy, but his concentration was always there. And the last one is like when he came out of Gurukul, he was carrying a stick in his arm and then in his hand, and he tells his father, "Father, this what I learned in Gurukul is not proper. They're telling that the jiva is same as Paramatma and all that. They were believe at that time the belief was the monotheistic philosophy that was, or Mayavad you could say, that Jiva is the same as Paramatma, isn't it? Atma is the same as Paramatma. And then when we die, we go and merge into this Paramatma, or the Lord himself. So that was the preaching at that time. And that came from, I believe, Ramanujacharya, that philosophy of Advaita philosophy. That Advaita philosophy was not accepted by Madhvacharya. So he was the proponent of the Advaita philosophy, which means that that Jiva is separate from Paramatma. The Atma is separate from Paramatma. It can't be same. It doesn't go and merge. Jiva doesn't go and merge into the Paramatma. So he was the first proponent, and that is, we are the followers of Madhvacharya. So that is important. So then his father says, "So what are you going to do?" He said, "I am going to preach myself all over the world. That is what is the right thing." So his father laughs, and then he had this dry wood in his arm and his hand. He said, if a tree grows out of that wood you are holding, then you can go and preach all over the world. He made like a sarcastic remark. So what Madhvacharya did, he broke that piece of wood in 3 pieces and he put it under the soil in 3 different places, and tree grew out of those 3 places. And then his father was astonished and said, "Oh my God, so this is really going to happen." So his father was amazed at that, and that is exactly what Madhvacharya did. He told the Advaita philosophy, which we are followers of, and then our Acharya, our Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took his teaching, and then from that comes what's it? Veda Tattva. Mantra Prabhu? Similarly, same and different. Veda Abheda Tattva, what's the full name? Sorry. Achinta Bheda, that was good. Achinta Bheda and Abheda Tattva. So Achinta means it's beyond us. We can't think about it. We can't picture it. But it is Achinta Bheda Abheda Tattva. That is coming from none other than Madhvacharya, the Advaita philosophy. And Mahaprabhu just sort of emphasized it. That similarly, at the same time they are same, at the same time they are different. Jivere Sarupa Krishna and Nityadas, which means we are eternal servants of Krishna, and although we are part and parcel of Krishna, we are the minute soul and remain with our separate identity, and Krishna is the ocean, he remains with his separate identity. Okay? Even though all the proponents at that time, they were going against it, that how come the river water flows into the same sea, how cannot it be the part of the same sea? But in spirituality, the difference is that yes, we're going back to the spiritual world, but we will remain distinct from the Lord as separate souls, as separate, with our separate swarupa. Okay, so the time's up. I could have said a bit more, but then, I've given the main messages. So we'll conclude the class here. Anybody has any questions or comments or want to add to it? There's lots to say about Madhvacharya. And also about the verse we have read. Anybody wants to add to it or has any questions?
Which years Madhvacharya?
Which years?
Born?
Yeah, he was, some say 1199, and then 1199, and some says 1238. So the class I was listening to from Amrendra Prabhu, he said, and also another Prabhu, they both emphasized that it was 1199 that he was born in. At that time there was Mughal kings, still Mughal kings who were reigning. And there are a lot of pastimes with Madhvacharya and the Mughal the rulers. You know, there are some pastimes with those impressions. And then he left the world. If we're taking it 1238, then he left the world 1817. I can't add. It was like 79 years or so. So if it was 1199, so 1269 or something, we would have finished this pastime. Thank you. Any other questions? All good? ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्री माधवाचार्य जी की जय, श्री शिल प्रभुपाद की जय, जय गौर प्रेमानंदे।